What's up, guys? Stick around to the end of the video or I'm going to read the comments. And any comment you post, I'm going to read it and react to it at the end of these videos. Here we go, let's get into it. Matt Crocker has left the United States men's national team, the federation, whatever. And he left for one reason, and one reason only. That Saudi money.
Oh, yeah.
He took the money and ran. 2 months out from the World Cup. So what are the implications? Do you think this will impact the performance of the team? What does this mean for United States men's national team as the World Cup is about 50 days away? And the main reason why he left, again, for that Saudi money.
Yeah.
Now let's get into some of the facts about how he was, or why he was brought in and what he did. So I see here on the internet that his overall compensation, including bonuses, was close to $1 million a year. And I believe the base salary was 600 something K plus 100K in bonuses. So he's already being paid pretty well. I mean, with that kind of salary, you have more than enough money to afford a, excellent lifestyle, even in America. So the thing that gets me is that we knew the World Cup was going to be hosted in America, whatever it is, America, Canada, Mexico. We knew that in 2017. So we've had 9 years to kind of build up. Crocker was brought in, I believe, in 2023 from England. And since then, he's basically done this. He got rid of Berhalter, who was not respected by the players at all. And I saw a pretty disturbing press conference where I think it was Gio Reyna and his teammate were asked about Greg Berhalter, the previous coach before Pochettino. Berhalter's comments about something. I think Berhalter compared Reyna to Maradona in an interview, and then they were laughing at him, which was highly disrespectful, but also weird dynamic. It's one thing to disrespect the coach in private, the coach disrespects me, now I'm going to disrespect you in private or in the locker room or whatever. It's another thing to do it in a press conference. But Berhalter was out, and then Crocker brought in his buddy from England, Pochettino. Now a lot of people on the internet are saying Crocker's departure, it's bad timing, but it's not going to impact the preparation. It's not going to impact the World Cup. But let's think about this. He's going to Saudi because he wants to get some of that Saudi money, right?
Oh, yeah.
And United States, if they progress in the tournament, is going to possibly match up against Saudi Arabia. So that seems like a conflict of interest in terms of Crocker brought in the head coach of the United States. So obviously he knows what's going on at the highest level in terms of the details of the organization, how everything's planned and what the best assets for the team are, and Pochettino's approach to coaching the team, and how he's going to present the team on the field and what he's going to do. So he knows everything. Plus they're buddies. So you think at a knockout stage this gets kind of tricky. What else was I going to say? So a lot of people are, is it going to impact? I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to say this. Is it possible that we've seen Crocker sell out for that Saudi money? Are we going to see Pochettino leave now? People say, it's impossible. It would never happen. Will never happen. I don't know, because I think Saudis just lost their coach, right? The guy who looks like Fabio, the guy who looks like a male model, he's gone. Did they hire a new coach yet? So first they lure away Crocker with the money, then they lure away Pochettino. Then we have to get a new head coach. And I have an article here I'm reading, or I've read, where it basically says that Crocker's main assistant was none other than Mr. Gooch, Aguchi Onyewu. And they're saying that Aguchi Onyewu, is going to be the successor and is going to be the new technical director. Do we think that Aguchi Onyewu is a better choice than Crocker? If you ask me, I believe he is, because I think if you look it up, I think Onyewu, let me try and look this up. Yeah, so Onyewu, at least to me, born in America, he's from Washington, D.C. He obviously did pretty well as a professional. So that's the thing with me is like, I'll end the video on this. Let's say Onyewu was the technical director and not this guy Crocker. You got a couple comments as I wrap up the video. Do I think Onyewu would have been lured away by that Saudi money? I don't think he would. I think Onyewu would have said, you know what? This is America. This is the World Cup. This is the biggest soccer game on the planet. I'm American. I have to have some sort of loyalty to my own country here. So no, I'm not going to, even though I'm already making whatever, 800K, and Saudi's going to offer me 6.5 mil, let's say. Just be outrageous. It's like, I'm not going to take the money because I'm going to be committed to, the World Cup, which is less than 2 months away. So yeah, let's like steer the ship in the right direction and like captain goes down with the ship type of thing. So Onyewu, love him or hate him, maybe he would have stayed and not sold out. And one last comment. Personally, I don't think this impacts really that much. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you look up this guy Crocker, and even, at the highest levels, every sports organization has so many different people, hands in the pot, and it seems like maybe like Crocker's not that involved with the preparation in terms of like it's between Pochettino and the players. I'm a little hesitant to fully commit to this stance, but I don't think it has any impact on the performance of the team, this guy leaving. However, it is interesting to explore like what are the impacts. And I see a lot of interviews in various outlets, Fox News, CBS, The Atlantic. There's like another article that I read. All the articles are quick to be like, there's not going to be any impact, no big deal. But it's like, I don't know, maybe there will be some sort of impact. Because if you think about it this way, the logistics surrounding it, and plus like Pochettino's reporting to this guy directly. So now it like throws things out of balance in terms of like the hierarchy and the power structure. So if something needs to happen, in a short window leading up to, let's say, the first, the group stage matches, and they need access to resources, Pochettino needs access to resources to make sure he get the best product on the field. All of a sudden, those checks and balances are totally just like, it's a whole new ball game where it's like, well, this was the precedent that was going forward in terms of like how we're going to accomplish tasks, and now it's all changed. So like, I don't know how to, do what I need to do in order to get things done. So in corporate terms, it's like there was an established cadence. Now it's all out the window. It's thrown out the window. So for Pochettino, this could be a big disruption, which could impact his focus going in as the coach. That's what I'm saying. So I think there is actually some sort of impact of this. And yeah, what do you think? Write in the comments down below. This video is not like my normal videos because the idea of talking about coaching and like, the corporate structure and the hierarchy of soccer at the highest level like this is like pretty much out of my wheelhouse. But what is in my wheelhouse, I'm going to show you right here, is talking about from the player perspective. I'm going to do more videos about talking about specific players on the team. And please check out my book, Soccer American Style, Journey to the NCAA, where I talk about my whole playing career from age 5 all the way through to 25. And I get into my thoughts. Everything I know about soccer is in this book. Turned out just how I wanted it to. I spent 9 years practicing writing before I finished the book. And I'm going to get into more videos where my thoughts about the philosophy behind how to perform the best on the field. But you can read all about that in this book. Please do check it out. It's like a sample of what the inside looks like. But yeah, more videos coming soon on stuff that's more within my wheelhouse. I'm not too much of an expert on the managerial side of things, but I do have opinions, and it can as a player, I've been on, I can think off the top of my head, 2 different teams where, there's an established head coach, obviously has my respect, but then there's like people orbiting around where it's like, this is a trainer, he's an assistant, he's just here to like oversee things, and like kind of look at some of those guys with like a little bit of a side eye, particularly like what's their background as a player. Because definitely if you're on the field and you're not a former player, like, sorry, but I can't respect you. So that's where this type of commentary gets a little tricky for me, because it's not within my realm of knowledge per se. But interesting to think about. Again, write in the comments what you think about the impact of Crocker's departure is, because he had to sell out and had to take that Saudi money. But more videos coming soon, and I'll check you next time. Bye. All right, let's read some comments. This one is from Sugar3234. I think when Poch took over and culture, that's different than rest of the world, where players acted like they were running the show and didn't care since there wasn't competition for each spot. First good thing he did, got rid of that to degree. As far as results, sure, friendlies good or bad have to mean something, and team has been up and down. Personally, I liked the Ecuador match. We should have won it. Could be he knows what he's doing. I mean, he did get the players more in line. They have been giving more of an effort compared to the way it was under the last coach. So this is in response to my video where I talk about Pochettino. So I just want to look at the beginning of this comment. Poch took over in culture. That's different than the rest of the world, where players acted like they were running the show and didn't care since there wasn't competition for each spot. So if you watch this video, I basically break down the stark difference between Pochettino, who's foreign-born and a club guy, and hasn't been winning, but he's had less experience. And then I compare him to Bruce Arena, who has he's the winningest coach in national team history, no soccer experience. I think he's a lacrosse player. So then you look at like, what are the differences between the two? So Sugar 32-34 seems to think that Poch is like an enforcer and bringing the players in line. And if you watch my last video where I talk about it, I did describe how like Bruce Arena is giving you nothing from the face, is how I put it. So like he's on the sideline. He's almost got a very serious face at all times. So like the personality is not crazy, but what that does is it like, I think if you're too friendly with the players, then they don't respect you in the locker room. That's, basic sports talk. But let's look at the rest of this comment. As far as results, friendlies were good, have to mean something. They beat Ecuador. He's got to know what he's doing, give more of an effort compared to it was under the last coach. So it seems like Berhalter did not have the respect of the players, and I pointed out in that video as well that in a press conference, Gio Reyna, I believe, and another player laughed at Berhalter comparing Gio Reyna to Maradona, the way he was dribbling, which to me was like pretty disrespectful and pretty crazy to do. Personally, if I was at a press conference and they said, hey, your coach just compared you to Maradona, I'd say it's a big compliment. Maradona's regarded as one of the best dribblers. So, but instead, Gio Reyna, I believe, and the other guy started laughing, and which is a sign of like Coach Berhalter doesn't know what he's talking about, and he got removed for Pochettino. So the culture is important. I say in the video, I think maybe he's doing pretty good. It's hard to tell exactly. However, I've also read comments about Pochettino being poor at being able to make in-game adjustments. And so even with Klinsmann, I disagreed with some of Klinsmann's decisions in specific matches in the World Cup. Biggest one that comes to mind, for example, 2014 World Cup, Mix Diskerud never touched the pitch, and there were games where we needed a boost in midfield. To me, it's just ridiculous that he didn't get any minutes at all, specifically when we needed a player like him to touch the pitch. So, in my opinion, that's a shortcoming of Klinsmann. Maybe like he took it too far with being zero tolerance in a way. But coaches pick their lineups and they stick with them, especially at the high level. But I'm going to read more comments coming up. There's a few comments, if you go back in the videos and you read, I respond to every comment as well. But more comments coming up, more videos coming up. Let me know what you want me to talk about. I'll see you next time.